I am functional medicine practitioner Claudine Francois. I empower women entrepreneurs by sharing solutions for health on my show, Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Hello and welcome to Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. I am so excited for today's show, How to Achieve Success Embracing Uncertainty in Health and Business with keynote speaker and Emcee Rita Goodroe. Now, many of you know that I am a functional medicine practitioner, and if you are experiencing health issues and finding no answers despite numerous tests, I am here to help. Women have been gaining invaluable insights through the free lab review sessions I'm currently providing just for a little more time. I can help decode those lab results and empower you to take meaningful action. So access the link in the scroll, or you can find it later in the comments below so that your journey to better health can start now. And let's get to today's show. Today's guest is Rita Goodroe. Rita is an award-winning coach, community builder, and keynote speaker who helps organizations, entrepreneurs, and teams make more money with less effort. Heck yeah. By focusing on the meaningful relationships and opportunities that drive success and impact. She has been featured in the Washington Post and seen on NBC, CBS, and Great Day Washington. Rita's strategies and thought leadership have earned her the Change Maker Award by the United States of Women Summit under the President Obama's administration. Let us bring up Rita. Thank you so much for being here. So excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Yay, what a resume. My goodness. We are so fortunate to hear from you today.
Oh, thank you.
I want to start by asking you the first thing I ask all my guests, which is, what does a healthy, delicious lifestyle mean to you?
I really do believe that a healthy, delicious lifestyle, so a lot of people measure success in life, right? So it's being successful, but success in life by what they have, right? External things, what job they have, or, did they get married, or whatever, all these external things. I believe a healthy, delicious lifestyle is when you are showing up as the person you want to show up as. So it's who are you being instead of what are you getting, or like what are you receiving. So it's just like, am I showing up in alignment with my values? Am I showing up every day in a way that feels good? Am I taking action in a way that is putting myself out into the universe the way that I want to be? So if I'm being the person I want to be, then I'm living a healthy, delicious lifestyle, regardless of the external things that are happening around me as a result of that.
That is such a great reminder, because it's basically like you need to be happy within yourself in order to live the life you want to live. It's kind of like when I was in corporate, they would say, you need to start acting like your next promotion, right? And then you'll get that promotion. It's, I hate to bring up corporate as an example of something good, but in this case, I think most people will understand that correlation. But thank you for bringing that up, because I think so many of us are chasing the thing.
And you'll never, like, it's that quick hit of adrenaline and dopamine. And when you get the promotion, but then you chase the next thing and you chase the next thing, right? Instead, if I'm just being who I want to be, right? Maybe I'm a person who prioritizes my health. Maybe I'm a person who cultivates deep relationships. Maybe I'm a person who operates from faith, not fear, all of these things, right? If I'm showing up as that person, then everything I want to have in life will pan out, because I'm being that person, as opposed to like, I need the promotion, I need the whatever. And then it's just like, now what? I can always control who I'm being, but I can't always control what's happening around me. And so my measure of success has to be something that's 100% within my control.
Yes, I just got chills. Can I get an amen out there? That's so good. That's so good. Okay, let's get to some of your tips, because wow, we started off with a bang on this one. So your first tip is stop looking for evidence that the thing you're doing is working. Rita, what do you mean by that? How do we not look for evidence that the thing we're doing is working?
So I used to be a lawyer, so a lot of the evidence language, right, comes from my old days as an attorney. But I will say this, a lot of people choose, especially entrepreneurs, right? So they'll go into business and they pick a business strategy and they'll go, okay, I'm going to do reels every day for 30 days, or I'm going to have a podcast, or I'm going to, whatever it is that they want to do in their marketing or in their networking, whatever. And then they'll say, okay, But Rita, I've been doing it and I'm not getting this. I haven't signed a client, or like nobody's like, let's stick with social media. Nobody's commenting on my post. Nobody's liking my post. I only have 20 views on stories. I only have whatever. I don't think it's working. And the minute that they decide it's not working, they want to do something else, because why would you want to continue to do something that quote unquote isn't working? What happens though is they never stick with any one thing long enough to actually see it work, right? And if you don't believe it'll work, it's not going to work, because you're just not going to show up with that commitment and that consistency that you need and the length of time you need to have it work, because you don't believe it's going to work. So when you're looking for evidence, like no one's signing up for my webinar and I just put it out there or whatever, you're looking for evidence that that was the right webinar or that it's working or whatever. What's going to happen is it signals I don't actually believe in it. I'm looking for evidence to show me that it was the right offer. I'm looking for evidence to show me it was the right strategy. I don't believe it's the right. I need to see proof that it is, right? So number one, you're already operating from that wrong kind of mindset. But number two is, when you look for evidence and you don't find it, you're going to stop the thing. Instead, if I just go, you know what, I'll get clients 100%. I'll make 6 figures in my business. I'll make 7 figures, whatever, 100%. I don't know when or how. That's that whole attachment to the outcome. I don't know when or how, but I know that's certain. I'll have $100,000 in my business or whatever. Then it could come from this strategy that I'm implementing, the social media strategy, but it could also come from somewhere completely different. So I'm not really worried if this strategy is working or not, because I know the outcome is inevitable. So my job is to show up as a kind of person that makes 6 figures in my business. That person, or again, who you're being, picks a strategy, sees it through, shows up with full energy, knows, has mindset of, I know it's putting me where I need to be. I know it's going to bring me to the people and places that I need to be in front of. I know. So they'll have the mindset, they'll take the action, they see a strategy through. That's who gets 6 figures, right? So if I'm too attached or looking for evidence, I'm never really going to reach the end result. Instead, it's, I could get my ultimate success from this thing, from this program, from this social media, from this podcast. But I could also get it in a completely unknown way, which I'm totally open and available for. Thank you. And so my job is just to see this thing through. And I don't need to worry if it's working or not, because I might get my success in a completely different way. But my job is to show up with full commitment to this thing that I've decided to do.
That's such a great reminder. Have a strategy, see it through, things will come. The things will come, right? You have to have faith, you have to believe in it, you have to take the actions and continue to move forward. And I see this in health a lot, right? Someone will say, okay, I'll go on this new eating plan for a week. I don't see any changes.
Nothing changed. I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I went to the gym one time. I don't understand why it's not working. Right?
Exactly.
It's like,
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. And I think also just like a piece of that that's so important is to remember your job. If you believe in the law of attraction, if anybody out there believes in the law of attraction, but it just makes basic sense. You can't attract things that are of a different energy. So if you think you're unsuccessful, you won't. Just like if you're not positive, you're not going to attract. If you're very miserable and angry, you're not really going to attract happy people, right? So if I believe that like it's not working, I'm not really going to get success, and I'm operating on that level, I can't attract things up here, success. So if I just am like operating on that level of like certainty and belief that everything's going to work out, and I don't need to see evidence of it, and I just need to do my job, I just need to do the things I say I'm going to do, I'm at that same energy level to attract the kind of opportunities and success that I want. And so that's what it's just doing. It's putting you in a different energy so that you will attract more of the people, places, resources, and things that will bring you to your outcome, whether it's business success, health, dating, any of it.
Ah, beautiful. So good. And so your next tip is self-trust is the most important skill to develop for business success. Tell us about self-trust, because I noticed you specifically didn't say trust your gut. You said self-trust, which is slightly different. Tell us about that.
A little different. Yeah, I mean, like trusting your instinct, sure. I have a love-hate with our instinct. I will say, like, sometimes you just have to be able to be very clear. Is it my gut or is it fear? Two very different things. But we'll put that aside, right? Like, I always tell people you have to, in order to have, if you do not have this, if you do not cultivate it, if you don't know how, like, you will not succeed the way you want to succeed, or at least sustain it. You must be able to trust yourself, not only to take the actions that you need to take to get the results you want. So that's a piece of it. I have to trust that I can take these actions, right? But the more important part is I have to trust that I can navigate whatever happens as a result of taking the actions. Meaning, I have to be able to, like, let's say I launch a program and that program doesn't fill. I have to not only trust myself to be able to show up and do the things I need to do to launch the program, but I have to be able to trust that I can navigate if no one signs up for the program, if only one person signs up for the program, if too many people sign up for, like, I have to be able to navigate whatever happens as a result. If I trust myself to date and get into a relationship, I also have to trust myself to be able to successfully navigate a breakup. Or so if I don't believe that I can successfully navigate whatever outcome is, I will stop myself from actually getting into the situation that can bring the outcome, because I'm protecting myself from nobody signing up from the program or from a breakup, right? Because I don't trust that I can actually get through that. I don't trust that I can actually navigate being broken up with, or navigate nobody signing up. I think I'll be too crushed. I think I'll be too down and out. I think it'll really impact me too much. I won't be able to get off the couch for a week. I'll never do anything ever again, whatever it is. Like, if I trust, I'll navigate whatever happens and it'll be successful. I'll end up where I need to be. I'll get what I want or better. If I didn't get what I want, what I'm going to get is better. Like, all of that. Then I can take any action, because it doesn't matter what the outcome is. I'll be able to navigate that to my success no matter what. So you have to cultivate that trust in yourself to be able to do that. Not just trust to do the things, trust to navigate whatever happens from doing the things.
And that is a much more joyful and less fear-based way of being. I love that. So tell us about this book that you brought up, Fans First. Why do you love it?
So Fans First is by Jessie Cole. Jessie Cole, if you guys don't know, is the owner of the Savannah Bananas. If you do not know the story of the Savannah Bananas baseball team, it is a story worth reading. It is unlike anything but he saw that there was a real problem with baseball. People were falling out of love with baseball. The games were too long. People weren't as interested. There were just all these problems with baseball. So he created a completely new out-of-the-box way to play baseball that has taken off and is taking the country by storm and is creating this whole other world of baseball. But his whole thing is about that self-trust, is about how you're able to take risks and then implement them to whatever the outcome is. And no matter what the outcome is, how you can build on that to the next thing. So his whole philosophy is to put fans first. And he built everything around the fan. Everything has to be for the fan. The way we play baseball is for the fan. The way that we let people in the park is for the fan. The way that we make decisions about pricing is for the fan. So he knew that. And then he just had to trust himself to make certain decisions. And some of them panned out and some didn't, but he was always able to successfully navigate because he had self-trust, and also because he had the guiding compass of what that center point is for how the decisions were being made. But this can apply for any business, for anything. Is how are you putting your audience first, your clients first, those people who love you and what you do first. And what's shocking in this book is what it really means to put fans first versus what people think it means to put fans first.
Ooh, that is going to be a great read. I'm going to get my hands on that one. That's awesome. And the next tip, the healthy and delicious lifestyle with Claudine share, is that healing takes time in business and in health. Your only job is to keep moving forward and progress will come. And we touched on that a little bit earlier. And I feel like when it comes to my clients, when we're working on a gut health protocol, I mean, if you're healing your gut, does not happen overnight. Your gut did not get that way overnight. You cannot get rid of all those gut bugs like in a flash. It does take a little bit of patience, which I know a lot of us go-getters are not the most patient. I think you were telling me earlier that you had a client you were just talking with us about.
Yeah, well, I was just talking, yes, and something a little more. So what I'll say to this tip is that idea that that your job, right? You hit the nail on the head with the word patience. And patience is so much easier whenever you truly believe that the outcome is inevitable, right? So again, that idea of like, the success is coming. I don't know when or how, but my job is just to show up and take actions that would cultivate that level of success. Patience is easier when you're certain that it's going to work. When you don't believe it'll work and you need to see the evidence, right, you're going to falter. So patience comes from that belief and that trust that if I just show up and I'm the person I'm supposed to be, the right results are going to happen. Plus, I always tell my clients, what you do today in health, in business, anywhere, shows up usually around 90 days from today. So when people say, I don't have results in my business, I don't have any clients right now, I don't have any, I'm like, well, what were you doing 90 days ago? And then they'll look at their calendar and they'll be like, oh, that I took off for this summer. I did this. I'm like, cool. So easy problem to solve, right? But just know what we do today isn't going to show up for like 3 more months. So if you keep pushing it off a week or a month or whatever, and you're not even going to see the beginning of the results for 90 days from the day you really start taking consistent daily action towards it, how long is it going to be? And so, yeah, but the patience is easier when you just know it. I will be healthy, or I will be successful, or I will be whatever that is for you, whatever your definition is. And it may come from the way that I'm choosing to do it. It may come from some other way, and I'm totally fine with that.
Awesome. And just as a reminder for anyone who's gone through traditional medicine is not getting the answers they need, I'm putting my free lab review comment or link below so you can check that out. And I do want to mention these lovely pens that you brought up, Rita. I love my pen. I have to say, because you're a big proponent of journaling, of getting our thoughts out, of helping keep our mindset on straight so that we can have this a lot, we can attract the things that we really want. And so I don't know what it is about having a great pen that helps you do that, but it just makes it easier. You're like, oh, this looks lovely when I write it.
Well, putting it down in words on paper, they've shown has way more power than typing it or speaking it out. And so, but that idea of being detached from the outcome that we're kind of talking about, being patient, like whatever, writing that out and just saying, whatever your definition of it, a wonderful marriage, a thriving business is completely into 6 figures in my business, completely and totally inevitable, right? My only job is to take action at that level. And the actions are, right? And every day just write down actions that would be at what would someone do who built a thriving, successful 6-figure business, or has a happy, loving marriage, or has the health that they want? Like, how are they showing up and what are they doing? And if you just do nothing but journal that every day, you're going to have your action plan. You're going to have your list of things to do every day.
So good. Oh my gosh, these tips are amazing. All right. So our last share is, if you're not physically and mentally healthy, your business cannot be either.
Yeah. This is the one I was just talking to my client. So I was talking with my client about this, and she was talking about how she's like working around the clock and she's burned out and she's so tired. And I this is not my own analogy, but I love this analogy that I heard, which was, imagine you run a business and the most important asset in the business is a truck, right? So what you do is you take the truck out of service before anything is wrong with the truck, because you need to maintain it. You got to change the oil, make sure the tires are good so that it doesn't break down. Because if it breaks down, you're going to lose way more money than you would have just taking it out for half a day for service, right? So you take the truck out for half a day, yeah, you lose a little bit of money, but you save it over the long run. Because if you didn't take it out for service, it's going to break down. It's going to be gone for a week, 2, maybe more. Maybe you're going to have to get a completely different truck, right? Well, in your business as CEO, you are the most important asset of your business. So you can't let it get to a point of breaking it. So like you can't, if you just like work out every day for maybe that's an hour or 2 that you're not like working on your business or whatever it is, but that's going to save you from being like 3 days sick. Or if you get sick for 3 days, it would have been a week if you hadn't have been taking care of yourself. And right. So like we are just maintaining the most important asset of our business the same way that anyone else would. And when you put it in terms of like, well, people are like, of course they take trucks out of service. And of course I need to keep my phone charged before it completely depletes from battery, because it'll take longer before it even powers back up than it would have if I had just kind of kept it charged the whole time. Now I'm not losing the time of a complete power down before it powers on. Well, then why aren't we taking care of ourselves as CEO, right? Treating ourselves like the most important asset. And people think it's selfish. Well, it's so selfish for me to prioritize myself, but there's so much in my business I need to do. But when you make it a business decision that the business needs to protect the mental and physical health of the most important asset, it's a completely selfish business decision instead of personal decision.
Oh my goodness, that was so wonderful. And I know I could talk to you for ages, Rita. I thank you so much for all this wisdom. Now tell people,
welcome,
because I know you have a special gift for the community. So tell people about your Journaling for Profit free guide, as well as how to follow you.
Yeah, if you really want to know how to journal in a tangible way that will get you results in your business, I've created the Journal for Profit method, which is a morning journaling practice. It is not a Dear Diary, today was this, it's very tangible, leading you to your actions that you need to focus on the most in that day so that you actually get clients, get money, get the success and the results, the opportunities that you want in your business. So a lot of people are like, journaling's a little woo-woo for me. It's a little too like out there. This is not that kind of, I was a lawyer. This is not that kind of journaling. This is journaling in a very clear, specific way that makes it very evident what you're supposed to be doing to get the results that you want.
Great. And for those of us who are accountants, we appreciate that directness. I love it. Oh my gosh, Rita, thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate you coming on the show.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm going to drop you into the green room, grab a mocktail. I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, was that amazing or what? Thank you so much for joining us today. And just a reminder, how are you going to create a healthy, delicious lifestyle for you today? And until then, join us for another episode of Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine next Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Central. And have a healthy, delicious lifestyle. You can learn more about my services and products at ingoodcleantaste.com. Be sure to join me every week on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.